Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's justreaddvi and I am back with another video. Thank you guys so much for coming. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and meet me in the comments if you read this book or you just want to say hey. If you are a just reader, welcome back. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love and support every single time. So yes, as some of you know, well, most of you, some of you, I am doing a 100 book challenge, and I have been doing, well, for the year, and I have been doing a Sister Souljah series, a playlist on here in light of her new book, Life After Death. I just said, oh, let me just go ahead and read all of her books because quite a few of them I have not read. So yeah, I am closing it up today with the Midnight series, a series and a series. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. So yes, I am on Instagram also as justreaddvi. You can definitely head over there and check me out. I will be posting, well, all of my reviews are posted there, written also. And I do share the links when I do post a new video, so you can stay in touch with me on there. But I am also doing a written review in the entirety of these 3 books because today I'm just going to be doing a summary and then my recommendation of them and a rating. So that's pretty much it in today's video, just because it would be a really long video if I reviewed each and every one of them in their entirety. It would be long. So let's get into the video. So today, the first book is Midnight, Gangsta Love Story. So this book was real rough and raw. I really appreciated this book. She did a great job with this book. I just really enjoyed, like in The Coldest Winter Ever, that's where we met him. We said hello to him. But in this book, we sat down and we really had a conversation with Midnight. This was just all about Midnight, his religion, him being a Muslim, his family life, his mom, his sister, his life in Sudan, then moving to New York. Everything was in this book. Him meeting his first wife, marrying his first wife. Well done. This book was a page turner. The pace was great. It was very hard to put this book down because you wanted to know what the next thing was. So good job, Sister Souljah. Well done. Great job, actually. What would I recommend? Absolutely, I would recommend you guys to read it. It was a great book. She did a great job. If you want to know more of Midnight, if he piqued your interest in The Coldest Winter Ever, definitely read this book. Yeah, it was great. Rating, just read stars. I would rate this book 5 out of 5. She did a great job. Yes. Part 2, Midnight and the Meaning of Love. This book should have been called A Love Supreme. This book was great. She do a good job with this book. She did. You know, this was good. The first one was great. This one was good. The reason why I'm saying, well, let me get into my summary of it. So in this book, she's in Part 2, Midnight and the Meaning of Love. It should have been called as Love Supreme because he had so much love for his first wife. She got kidnapped and he went pretty much almost to the ends of the earth to get her back. He fought her dad basically to get her back. Her dad kidnapped her from New York and he went looking for her. He really went on the hunt, and it was amazing, the love he had for her, the drive he had in getting her back, the discipline he had about everything, like with religion and right and wrong, and just to be a kid, you know, married and going after your wife. You know, it was amazing. Yeah. Good book. So that one was good. My dislike, I'll just share that with this book. I just didn't enjoy the bashing of American women and the disrespect of Christianity. That was, you know, in pretty much all of them, but I just want to share that as a dislike for this reading versus like I really like. But I did not like that at all. Not at all. That's something she needs to stop doing. What I recommend, yeah, I would recommend because it's the follow-up with him. So in this book, he's trying to get his wife back, and he's trying to get his wife back. He needs help. Obviously, he's in Japan. He doesn't speak Japanese. Doesn't have any allies or friends there. And he meets his now going to be second wife. So she helps him, and in the journey of her helping him locate his first wife, he ends up realizing that she realizes she likes him, he realizes he likes her, and they get married. So she becomes his second wife. So that was pretty interesting how her story intertwined with him. She was just she was really into the story. that I knew she had to probably be somebody big in his life, and she ended up being his second wife. So I appreciated that. That was pretty cool. But she added a lot of fluff with this book too. This book was 622 pages. I don't know why. It was unnecessary. I was excited in learning more about Souljah also. Didn't hear much of him in 3 of the books. We heard more about him in A Moment of Silence. We kind of met Souljah more in this one, part 3. I can get to that in a minute, but I didn't appreciate that. Like 632 pages of what? You know, I really didn't like that she did that. It was just fluff. She just added so much fluff, and it got worse in part 3. They're just adding in things that just didn't need to be there when you have so much that you could have expounded on from the previous mention of Midnight and his life, and knowing, you know, with the Souljah family, there's no mention of Winter, barely any mention of Souljah, except like in part 3 we kind of met him a little more, and I'm guessing when he gets out of jail, because in part 3 he goes to jail. We don't get to that, but I feel like she could have done better. She could have done better. So part 1 was great. Part 2 was good / okay. And then part 3, A Moment of Silence. This book, it started good. It was interesting because he goes to jail in this book. This is actually book 24. So these are book 22, 23, and 24 of the 100 book challenge. In this book, A Moment of Silence, I didn't like the way she did the book. There were quite a few things that I did like and appreciate, but like I said, she added fluff and just scenes that I feel like didn't belong or need to be in the book. So this book was 535 pages. Once again, and there was so much different things she could have expounded on that she didn't. And even with jail, you know, he's behind bars because which we heard of in The Coldest Winter Ever. So the follow-up, I was excited about that. Finally, we catching up to where he was, or things that were discussed in The Coldest Winter Ever. Because I was kind of like, okay, read part 1, okay, read part 2. When we gonna get to jail and you know, the stuff that were discussed in the letters between him and Sister Souljah about him killing the guy for trying to molest or rape his little sister. So I was kind of like, okay, part 1 was probably 500 pages, maybe, or close, if it wasn't. Part 2 was 632. We still weren't there yet. And then part 3 now with 525 pages, I was like, well, we better get close or be there, right? So he goes to jail, and, you know, my highlight of this book was the speech that Sister Lisa went and did in the jail. I really, really, really enjoyed that part of the book. That was definitely my favorite part, because she did this speech and she was just speaking to them, and the men really enjoyed it. She was speaking truth. It was honest. It was out of love, and I really, really appreciated it. But my question is, who is Sister Lisa? Because now are we going backwards? Like, is Sister Lisa supposed to be Sister Souljah before she's Sister Souljah? How much books are we going to get through of the Midnight series before we catch up to The Coldest Winter Ever? That was my thing. Because this is part 3. And I know she's writing another one. But where are we going? Where? Like, how much more are we going to have to go through? Because I'm done. Like, this book was ended so stupidly too. Like, I'm done. Basically, the Midnight series, Just Read VI, is tapped out. I was struggling to get to the end because it was good. Like, it was up and it was down, because like I said, she added a lot of fluff to get it to the 525 pages. There were things in there that needed to be in there, but there was a lot that I feel like with the fluff you could have taken out. You could have made it a shorter book, or you could have added things that really needed to be in there. So I was upset, and then how she ended the book was like, what are you doing? What did you do? What did you do? Left me very upset. Yeah, so that I'm going to get to my recommend. Do I recommend? Would I recommend this book? That's tough, because I had a lot of lessons. You know, one of the things that I really appreciated in this book was Leviticus and what he did with Leviticus. You know, even though he's broke his jaw and he didn't really care for Leviticus, as you could have told through reading the books, the respect just wasn't there. But what I did like is that he took him under his wing in jail and really brought him into religion and basically telling him how to be a man. I was kind of standing in his corner. So I did appreciate that, and I enjoyed it. It was really, it was nice. But yes, so my thing in saying it's hard to recommend is a yes or no, and it's tough because yes, you want to follow a series. I love a good series. That's why it kind of upset me the way she did this. You know, you start out really strong and good, and then you kind of just need, I don't know why you feel like you need to make the book so long that you add this fluff in, pieces that just didn't need to be there, or just kind of expounding and going crazy with. That's when there was already you already had a template set up as to where you were going. We were following you, but you dropped the ball. So this book, it was difficult because the fluff make it hard to get through. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So would I recommend? It's up to you. I don't know. Yes and no. Just read stars. This book gets 2 stars from me. It was just horrible. Like, it was good, but it was bad. You know, and then the way she ended it. You know, towards the end of the book, it just, you kind of grasping at straws. Like, what are you doing? What did you do? You know, so it would be interesting to see what she's going to do with the rest of the books, but I don't think I'm going to be following along, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys think. Meet me in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this series. I really would like to have a conversation with you guys and see if there's things that I'm missing. To get my full review, remember to head over to Instagram because I will have the full review for all 3 of these books on there. It is the end of March, closing out March with in March I only read Sister Souljah books. So definitely go and check out my playlist. You see my thoughts, comment, let me know. And of course, most importantly, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys each and every time. Yes. So thank you guys, and see you guys in the next video. Toodles!